Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
Good morning and welcome to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park. As always, we have a great show lined up for you today. We have our Honorable Mayor, Hubert Yap, in the building, as well as Alexis Ramsey. They're going to be talking about a wonderful event that you have to stay tuned in for Labor Day weekend. They're going to give you all the details and all the information, something to really get excited about. Then we also have another one of our guests is Mr. David Hoffer. He's going to do a Q&A with me talking about an industry that we all want to learn and know about. So stay tuned in, stay locked in, and we'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
Hi, this is Marley Blackman, Marley B, that's me. I am your host for Getting to Know, your very own TV show, giving you the information that you need to know, you deserve to know, and you want to know right here in Highland Park. We're at WHPR Studios, and we're so gracious to be here. Our very good friend, Mr. Ajay Watkins, has allowed us this platform to get the information out to you. Today, I have joining me our wonderful mayor, Mayor Hubert Yap, and Miss Alexis Ramsey. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good morning.
Great, how are you?
Good.
Good morning to all.
All right, so I know it's Monday, but
Yes.
can we need some energy, you guys.
I hear you.
Have you guys had your coffee?
Yes.
Yeah?
I have not.
You have not. You
have
should have
not.
told me, Mr. Mayor. Would have
No,
made sure we
I'm
had
fine.
some for
I'm
you.
fine.
Got
I'm
it from
fine.
Tim Hortons? Yeah?
No, I'm
Do you
good.
drink coffee?
I do.
Okay.
I
All right.
do.
I know I can't survive without not having a cup of coffee in the
My
morning.
pot is going at 6:30 every morning.
I know, right? So you guys have been working, well, I know you've been working your heart out on this wonderful event.
Mm-hmm.
And I want the community to know about it.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, this is something near dear to your heart as well, to make sure that this goes off without a hitch, right?
Absolutely.
So do you guys, who wants to say it first? What are we doing Labor Day weekend?
Well, Labor Day weekend, we're going to have the Parker Pride 3-day block party and
Okay.
also our parade. We'll
Okay.
be going up Hamilton Avenue this year.
Okay.
So September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we are looking forward to everyone coming out and participating.
All right. All right. So Hamilton Avenue. Hamilton? Normally it's Woodward, right?
That's right. We are going to do Hamilton. We're going to recognize our people west of Woodward who feel that they are the forgotten few.
Yeah, show some
But
love
we
over
love
there.
them. We love them. And Ms. Ramsey and group is putting on a beautiful project over there. They're cleaning the place up, and the entertainment is just going to be great. And I'm looking forward to it. I think you'll probably appreciate this more than any others that you've witnessed.
Wow. So this is going to be something annual, something that you're hoping that people come from all over the world to come to, right? As the years progress, it's going to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's
All
what
right.
that's the hope.
So
That's
tell
the
me
goal.
about it. Tell us about it. We want to know. What's gonna
Okay.
happen?
Well, right now we're in the process of cleaning up Hamilton Avenue.
Okay.
So this past weekend we cleaned up the first quad, which was Tuxedo to Glendale.
Okay.
And we cleaned up the Highland Park Caucus Club as well as Alvin Casey Park across
Okay.
the street. And so that went very well. We're very happy with the progress that we're
Good.
making.
Yeah.
But we have another cleanup coming up June 23rd and 24th, which is the third weekend of June.
Yes.
That Friday and Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And so we have a lot of work to do down in that area. We have about 3 city buildings and some city lots and things like that we're trying to really get cleaned up.
Perfect.
And so we're very excited about doing that. And we have some boards coming in from the Chrysler Corporation. They have like a creative studies and creative arts kind of program
Okay.
going on. So we're getting about 20 boards that are going to have all Highland Park related images on those boards. So that's what will actually go up on the city buildings to be boarded up. So we're super excited.
Wow, that's got to be
It
something
sounds
cool,
great.
right?
As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. All right, so there is going to be a parade.
Yes.
There's a 3-day fun day festival type of thing. So tell us, what does that weekend look like? What's going to happen the first day? Walk
Okay.
us through it.
Well, we plan to kick off around 5 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
At our first music stage, which will be located right behind the Highland Park Recreation Center.
Okay.
Ernest T.
A
Ford
music
building.
stage.
A music stage.
Highland Park is doing big things.
Yes.
Actually-
Moving on up.
Actually, we have 3 music stages. So far, we have 2 corporations who stepped up.
Yeah.
We have Lear and NASCAR who stepped up to
Thank
sponsor.
you, Lear and NASCAR.
To sponsor
We need
2
sponsors.
yes, 2
Yeah.
of our music stages. We're looking for our last sponsor for our last music stage.
Okay.
So we're in the process of getting that done, but we're going to kick it off at 5 o'clock on Friday with some music and entertainment, and we're going to have the carnival down on one end of the park.
Okay.
One end of the event.
Okay.
We'll have the music stage. We're going to have a ton of vendors and all this type of stuff going on. We're going to have some bouncers for the kids. We want to make sure that we have a kid friendly zone, which will be located right at the recreation center on the grass and things like that. So it's just going to be a really big event. We're just in the process of getting everything together now. But like I said, and then we'll have NASCAR across the Davison Freeway. So they're going to bring the pit crew out and just show the kids how to do some of
Wow.
the pit crew stuff and stuff like that. So we're super excited. And then 2 more
Pretty
music
cool.
stages as we continue down Hamilton Avenue.
Yeah, I'm going to help you try to
Sounds
get that
good.
last sponsor.
Yes.
How much money do we need again?
It's $10,000 to sponsor 1 music stage, but we're
Gracious. On, Mr. Mayor, $10,000.
That's why I have you 2 ladies here.
We're going to get it done, right?
Very good.
Girl power. We're
Yes.
going to make it
That's
happen.
right.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then
Okay.
we come back. I want to talk to the community, that's how they can get involved. You're going to give some information. Because we
Absolutely.
need help with cleanup.
Yes.
We need
Absolutely.
help with the actual, the day of the event, volunteers and things like that.
Yes.
And even if they want to become a vendor
Yes, we
and
would
sell
love to.
some product and make
Yes.
some money, they can do that as well, right?
Absolutely.
All right. All right, so we'll be right back, you guys. Stay tuned in, stay locked in with your girl Marley B. We'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B. Providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B. Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. And of course, we are always giving you the information that you want to know, deserve to know, and everything that's happening in the city of Highland Park and beyond, right? All right, so Mr. Mayor, I know I've been getting a ton of calls about citywide cleanup. You guys did such a wonderful job last year with the citywide cleanup. Everybody was so excited about it. Are we doing that again this year?
Yes, well, before I confirm that, let me say this. I've been having an audience with Mr. Arthur Blackwell, who spearheaded that last year and is always here in the city for us.
Okay.
Mr. Blackwell coordinated with the developers and the people that are doing the demolition with the heavy equipment. And if we can get that done again this year, it would be a great help. But if not, we're still going to have a cleanup.
Okay.
And that cleanup starts at home with your own property. That overhang on your back gate and your back fence, start there. Clean up your own. I also want to mention, in unison with this Highland Park celebration, we want to make sure that we get the abandoned vehicles off the street. If you own one, you got time to take the vehicle and store it properly, or we're going to take it in tow. First, we'll mark the vehicle, and then we'll give you ample time to move it, and then we'll tow it. So if it's in your driveway, if it's been there month in and month out, if it's on the street, you must clear that area. You got to get the vehicle in the proper storage place.
Okay. All right. All right. So you heard that. We're cleaning up our city. It starts right in your own neighborhood, right in your own front and backyard, next door. If there's a vehicle in your community that has been sitting there that needs to be towed, you should probably call City Hall, and we can make sure we get that taken care of for you, as well as trash and anything else like that. We really want to make sure that we live in a clean environment, right?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So I know with this kind of undertaking. It's a new adventure for you and for the city of Highland
Yes.
Park, and we need all of the help that we can get.
Yes.
So tell us, if one wants to volunteer, if one wants to become a vendor, they can let them know what they can sell and what they can do and what kind of vendors you're looking for. And if they want to volunteer, how will they get in touch with you?
Okay, when it comes to actual vending, if you would like to do perishable or non-perishable items, we kind of are taking
Okay.
just about anyone who wants
Okay.
to do any type of vending, as long as it's positive.
Yes.
You know, and like selling goods as far as clothing, maybe some oils,
Yes.
perfumes, sunglasses. We've got all different types.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of barbecue vendors that are coming out right now. We're trying to coordinate possibly like a barbecue cook-off, so we're
Okay.
trying to work that out right now. But overall, anyone who would like to come out and volunteer, you can always call the parade hotline at area code 313-241-7078. Once again, that's 313-241-7078.
Okay.
And we also have a website when it comes to the Hamilton Avenue cleanup. You can you can always email us your information. We need your name, contact information, and the people that want to be involved. And you can email us at hamiltonproject48203@gmail.com. Once again, that's hamiltonproject48203@gmail.com. And then if you would like to get a parade application, you can still call the same number, 313-241-7078. But we also have an email account for that as well, and that's miweek2017hp@gmail.com, and we're able to send you out an application so that you can get involved in the parade as well.
Perfect. Perfect. So is there a cost to this?
Now, to be a parade participant is absolutely free.
Okay.
But to become a vendor is $250 for
Okay.
that whole 3-day weekend.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then also, when you become a vendor, we're going to have multiple vendors under one tent, but we have a really huge tent. So that will also give you a table, your linen, and chairs, and 4 chairs to go along with that $250. So we're just
Perfect.
trying to get people out, get people involved, and also let them know we'll give them a little bit of shelter.
All right,
Stay out the
perfect. So
sun.
the Parker Pride 3-day block party.
Yes.
All right, and parade. So is there anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Mayor?
No, I just think that's a great idea, and I think this is a welcome change.
Okay.
We normally do a parade in May, but I think this is going to be the top of the mountain.
Okay.
We're going to hit the top with this one.
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
Yeah.
well, wonderful. Well, thank you both, Alexis and Mr. Mayor, for coming on the show
Thank
this
you.
morning and sharing with the community about what you're doing, the fabulous work that you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. All right, stay tuned in, stay locked in. We'll be right back with our next guest, Mr. David Hoffer.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B. Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. And we are back with our next guest, Mr. David Hofer. And we're just going to chit-chat a little bit about an industry that we all want to know about. And I'm really excited about this because we've been hearing a lot of buzz about it throughout the United States and a lot about it in Michigan. And, there's a lot of things that we want to know as far as Q&A. So hopefully we can get through this. And so welcome.
Well, thank you, Marley. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. So we are talking about the medical marijuana license and the application process and what does all that mean, and it's big business to some and great business to others, and how do you actually really get involved, and does it really help people with with their illness and things like that, and why are you involved? So we're going to kind of go through some of the questions here. So what is the new Medical Marijuana Act 281?
So prior to Governor Schneider voting in Act 281, which is the new medical marijuana law that took place in 2016, there was the caregiver law. And the caregiver law allowed for a caregiver to provide for 5 patients up to 6 plants per patient.
Okay.
Now with the new Act 281, it's become much more commercialized with specific special licenses on the number of plants you can grow, your cultivation and processing license, as well as your retail dispensary license.
Gotcha. Okay. So everybody want to be involved in this, right? And they don't really know how to be involved in this. Are cities backing this? Like, I know it comes from, it's all government, so it comes from like the state, and then it goes down to the city. How does that all work?
Well, it's interesting because LARA is the governing entity in the state of Michigan that will oversee rule promulgation for the new medical marijuana licensing, and the governor has just recently assigned the 5-member panel. That was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so they will start to establish the rules for the state.
Yeah.
Now, the local CVTs, the cities, villages, and townships, will need to opt in and determine whether or not it's right for their community. And they can opt in to allow for commercial grow and cultivation and processing, but many may not opt in for the retail dispensary. Mm-hmm. It's the stigma attached to medical marijuana and the black market that has existed for so long.
Absolutely.
That many cities are saying, hey, wait, we don't want that on every one of our street corners. And we're seeing that on 8 Mile. I mean, if you look at the news, you see that there were close to 168 retail dispensaries were shuttered and shut down over the past few weeks. And that will continue to happen up to the acceptance of the new applications, which will be December 15th of this year.
Okay. All right. So why, if I'm a mayor of a city, why would I want that to come into my town? Why would I? That's like a drug operation to me. And am I thinking, like, why would I want that? How would it benefit the residents?
So, great question. I think for professional operators that get into this, it's not unlike a new type of pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
There is a lot of medicinal benefits behind this. The terpenes, the molecular structures, all of the things that are being mapped by scientists and compounding pharmacists that truly derive benefits to those with certain ailments.
Yeah.
And the qualifying conditions here in Michigan for a patient to be able to secure a medical marijuana card are quite extensive.
Yeah.
You know, you've got people with Alzheimer's, people going through cancer and radiation treatment, who are all benefiting from this. And you've got about 240,000 card-carrying patients in the state of Michigan today under the existing caregiver laws. That number is going to go up significantly
absolutely. I can
as
imagine.
access is provided.
Yeah.
But back to your question about why would a municipality CVT
Embrace
want to get
it.
into this?
Absolutely.
I think with the right rules established by Laura and the right requirements in terms of the security around a building, most of the CVTs are looking at this and saying, look, what kind of tax revenue would we get off of this? Can we also look to abandoned properties and increasing the value of those properties by having them repurposed? And then I'm recommending to many of my clients through our advisory services, which is called Highway Advisory Services, that they actually have a give back component to those local municipalities so that a portion of their profits and proceeds go to giving back to that local community.
And that's good. I think that that is the ticket. I think that now, again, I'm not a mayor of anything, but if I were a mayor of a town, I would want to see something come back to rebuild the town, to say, you know what, we did this, but look at the bigger picture here.
That's right.
Not only are we helping the residents with their illnesses, but we're also rebuilding certain parts of the community that we would have never had the opportunity to do before.
Right. It's interesting because a lot of folks look at this as, again, the black market.
Yeah.
They don't understand the commercialization aspects of this and truly how it's benefiting. But by bringing it out into the open, taxing it, and allowing big industry to come in and say, hey, look, we're going to develop a vertically integrated grow, processing, and retail dispensary operation.
Yeah.
The standards are raised significantly and the bar is raised.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's where the opportunity is for the local
It's really all about like anything else. When something is new, it's all education. You got to go through years of educating people on why it's needed and what it is and all of that. So I'm sure that the from Washington there's going to be a lot of money coming down to just to educate people.
Correct.
Because I know a lot of people are really nervous about that.
Well, there's 29 states that have marijuana laws on the books today.
Okay.
You're going to continue to see more of these states opt in. You've got Canada, who has legalized for recreational.
Yeah.
And so the states here are saying, do we allow it to go to Canada, or do we opt in and start taking advantage of an industry that is not unlike post-prohibition?
Yeah.
And so you will see more and more
Exactly.
of these municipalities saying, we don't want to lose out.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose out on the tax base and the revenue. And they're careful to only allow those that are going to have the right security and infrastructure and professional systems in place. And really, I'm only wanting to work with those that want to have a system that sets the gold standard for the way it should be done in the state of Michigan.
Perfect. So I know that there's been, and you hear so many things. Is there any truth to the in Colorado that the homeless rate has gone up?
It's interesting
Because of the medical marijuana?
It is. They have while the crime rate has gone down in
Okay.
Colorado.
Well, let's stop there. Why do you
Sure.
think that is?
I think it's probably more jobs provided,
Okay.
more police, more tax revenue for policing.
Okay.
And really, the laws that they have there are very much being mirrored by the state of Michigan. And with full seed to sale tracking, it's kind of hard to allow for these nefarious characters to come in and start selling black market.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the toothpaste is out of the tube already.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to require these restrictions and rules and controls.
Yeah.
And so I think with the homeless situation, it's interesting. I don't think anybody truly has a grasp or understanding why the homeless
That's happening,
issue has gone up in Colorado. There's-
That's interesting. I would love to know.
Right,
If you find out, let me know.
I
Okay?
will fact check
All right,
and
and
get
I'll let
back
you
to you.
guys know why that's happening, because I know that we don't want that to happen in Michigan.
Right, that's correct.
We want to make sure that it makes sense for everyone.
Well, the beauty of this too is it's providing jobs for, and not only the tax revenue, which is a 3% excise tax
Yes.
to the CVTs, But then, obviously, the charitable give back and donation to the city if somebody opts in to do
Yeah.
what we're recommending for those wanting to secure their licenses.
Wonderful. And I hear that's a very intense thing to do to secure your license. It's a whole process.
Right,
Right?
right.
It's almost like one of your partners mentioned a way it's almost like getting a liquor license almost, right?
Well, it's somewhere between, we call it light and heavy. Liquor license is a lighter process than a casino license.
Okay.
So it's somewhere in between.
So you got to have your stuff together.
It is overwhelming to most entrepreneurs and investors
Okay.
that look at this and say, look, I want to be in the business. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity that I missed out in Colorado or
Yeah.
in one of the other states. But, you've got Ohio coming on board, you've got Pennsylvania coming on board. So competition is going to be fierce. And for those that do apply in Michigan, look, they need to have their business plans, their financials, their standard operating procedures. They need to have a zoned and permitted
Space.
facility in the municipality that they're going to exist in. And then they will require very deep FBI level background checks on everybody,
Well,
your
that's
investors
good.
and your management team.
Yeah.
So what I like about it is everybody is being thoroughly vetted.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to prove source of funds. So if you've got your own money that you're putting into this, or you're seeking funds from a third-party investment, those people will have to be vetted the same as the
Yeah,
management
you can't
team.
just piece things together and think that you're going to make it happen, right?
That's correct.
All right, we have a ton of other questions to get through. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Mr. David Hofer.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show right here in Highland Park. Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary. And as always, you can always give me a call if you have any questions and or issues that you'd like for me to handle for you, or get out to the community, or even deal with at City Hall. My phone number is 313-868-0342. Again, you can reach me at 313-868-0342. That's the number right here in the studio, or you can always call me at City Hall. I am back with my guest, Mr. David Hofer, and we're talking about the industry that everyone wants to know about. There's so many laws and the do's and the don'ts, and one thing that I'm curious about is it's almost like halfway there. It's like you can and you can't. Like you can smoke marijuana right now, medical marijuana right now with a card,
Right.
And you can have a facility, but you can't do so many things or you'll get busted, because there was something that just happened in Troy last week, and it's like,
Right.
what happened with that? Where there was a facility that got raided, and now they're in trouble. So it's halfway legal and halfway not, to me.
Right. Well, a lot of people are operating in what we call the gray market, where
Okay.
they may have a caregiver's license, and which allows you to have 5 patients and to grow 6 plants per patient.
Okay.
The challenge is most of those folks are overgrowing.
Gotcha.
And
They're being
not
greedy.
that they are, and hence the fancy cars and
Yeah.
a whole host of
Yeah.
other things. But those people are quickly being shut down by the CBTs.
Okay, so that is what's going on. Okay.
Correct.
And then what do you have, what do you say about the doctors who are just saying, yeah, you can have a license. I'm going to sign off on it, just send it to Lansing, and you're all good. Just give me $100. What do you say about those guys? You know that's happening, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. It's akin to the pill mills
Yeah.
in many states, where the doctors are just signing off and allowing folks to get any opiate that they want.
Yeah.
And as you open the newspapers and watch TV every day,
Yeah.
you see the opiate epidemic is catastrophic to
Yeah.
many families.
Yeah.
As in terms of the medical marijuana card issuing on the part of the physicians, I think it's imperative that those physicians understand and educate the patient
Yeah.
on the true benefits of marijuana,
Yeah.
because there are thousands of different strains, there's different formulations, there's different delivery mechanisms for the product, so it's got to be carefully controlled from that aspect.
You almost have to be a scientist or something, right? Like, how do you how do you learn how to do all of these things?
Right.
That's weird.
As I had said earlier, this industry is looking more like a new type of pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And there are scientists that are breaking down the types of plants and strains
Wow.
and crossbreeding, and then they're saying we can deliver it in forms like capsules and creams and edibles and things along those lines. And what they're trying to do is control microdosing, so they have a better understanding of how quickly that cannabis will be in somebody's system to provide them the benefits that they need. But the scientists that are looking at this are looking at the terpenes and the molecular structures of the plants, and and we have in fact a compounding pharmacist on our team who has mapped this out and will be authoring a book, in fact, to guide these
Wow.
physicians
Imagine that.
in terms of what's the proper dosage for this type of ailment.
That
That
is
hasn't been
amazing.
established yet. So it's very exciting.
Whole new industry.
It is, absolutely. As I said, post-prohibition, but with the right rules and regulations and states behind it, I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for those
Yeah.
patients in need.
Yeah, just when you thought we had it all, right? Just when you thought there was nothing else to create, there was nothing new to discover, we're creating it. We're making it happen.
Well, and I think the thing that your audience and others listening to the show will really want to understand is, look, there's a lot of folks out there that are still in the gray market and the
Yeah.
black market. We read about some of the bribery that's going on for
Yeah.
folks to try and secure licensing. It's unfortunate because those are the ones that are giving a black eye to the industry.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary. Just follow the process. Yes, it's quite involved, and in fact, in Pennsylvania and Colorado, the application was around 5 to 6 inches thick.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to go in there with everything nailed down in terms of your plans and your team, and have the legal, the accounting, the regulatory issues solved early on. As well as your building, your zoning, your marketing, your financing,
So all
that.
of that are the things that need to be submitted with your application. Let's go through that.
Sure.
So if you're applying for, if you plan on applying for a license, when is that date? Because it's this year, it's at the end of the year. What's the date?
Well, the Laura will start accepting applications December 15th of this
Okay.
year. And in preparation for that, that's not a lot of time from now to December 15th. You've got to actually find your real estate,
Okay.
get approval from the CVTs that opt in for it.
Okay.
And then you've got to have your architectural plans for how you're going to redesign, reconfigure the facility.
Wow.
It's quite involved in terms of your grow and cultivation operations in a warehousing type setting.
Yeah.
You've got to have your security plans defined.
So when you talk about security, are you talking about armed guards, or are you talking about cameras, or I mean, what do you mean when you say security?
Great question. So it is security cameras, your ease and access points within the building.
Okay.
Your security guards for the facility, your transport partner. What's interesting.
So there's a logistics piece to this.
That's correct.
That's
correct.
interesting. Okay.
And what I didn't touch on is the licensing with Laura will be for Class A is going to be a 500 plant grow operation. A Class B will be a 1,000 plant grow operation, and a Class C will be a 1,500 plant grow operation. And then you've got to get your licensing to be a processor and your licensing to be a retail dispensary. What they do not allow you to do is also have a license for testing, third-party testing. That has to be by a separate entity. And then the transport. So The one issue that's still problematic or challenging is this industry is still difficult to bank because it's a Schedule I drug at the federal level. It's still very difficult for folks to find a bank that will take the risk and allow them to be a depositor.
Yeah.
So you will have transport companies out there that will not only transport products safely and securely, but then also transport the cash from the retail dispensaries. So, think of it in terms of a new type of Brinks truck.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say Brinks. Yeah, so that is interesting. You just named off about a half a dozen different things that you can do with creating an opportunity for yourself.
That's correct.
So you don't have to just be a grower or retailer, but there's a lot of other things that you can do to make a business that may not be as intense.
That's right.
Yeah.
In fact, a recent report just came out by ArcView Research. They're one of the industry analyst firms, and they're saying that some of the fastest growing are in the peripheral businesses where they're manufacturing components or lighting or irrigation systems, or they're providing legal, accounting, marketing services, all of that. So it's and some of those have grown more than 160% just in the peripheral professional services side.
You guys better you gotta figure this thing out and see where you gotta get in where you fit in, to say the least, because it seems like there's a lot of opportunity. Whether we like it or not, it's gonna happen. So if you can get involved in some kind of way, if you, I hear that it really works with people that are really sick. There's a lot of there's one of the a dear friend of mine. She was a news reporter for Channel 2, and she's suffering with a certain disease, and she's 150% behind medical marijuana because she says that is the only thing that has helped her. So she's being an advocate for it. There's a ton of other people that are suffering with a disease they're in chronic pain and things like that, and that is the only thing that's helping them. Right. So it is a good thing for the people that it's helping, and it's a good industry. I'm a little nervous about it only because it's new, and I don't know what to expect, because I don't like to take drugs for even aspirin if I have a headache. So I'm a little nervous about that, and then also having children. I have a son, and I don't know what that means, and definitely don't support him. It would never support him doing something like that. Right. But I know that you would hate that someone's just doing it for recreational purposes and not, if they're sick and they're using it. So it's like, where's that line? Where you draw that line?
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
There are people out there that suffer from, as I said, Alzheimer's, Crohn's disease, cancer. I can speak from a personal experience that my wife in 2008 was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I'm sorry.
And she took it upon herself to do her own research and work with Dr. David Brownstein here in Michigan, who is referenced in Suzanne Summers' book. I'm pleased to say that she went the alternative route, the naturopathic route, and we're 10 years, almost 10 years.
That's wonderful.
And she's still clear.
Good.
So I think when you look at the news every day and you understand that folks that have chronic pain or other diseases, and they're simply being requested or prescribed, I should say, these opioids, they get addicted. And there's terrible side effects on many of these. And the fact that they're taking multiple opioids and crossing them, people don't know what those side effects are.
Right, exactly.
And that's why more patients are opting for a more natural solution. Now, what you're going to see is more people going from a flour-based product to the concentrates, the oils, the creams, the teas, and the topicals, because they're more widely accepted as a better way to ingest and benefit from the cannabinoids in the plant itself.
Yeah, that's another thing. So when you go for a drug test and this shows up in your blood, how are they dealing with that part of it? Will the employer kind of excuse that as long as you have a written note from the doctor, or are you frowned upon if you have
I think that the laws haven't quite caught up.
Yeah.
And as a result, the companies that provide sporadic drug testing
Yeah.
haven't caught up either.
Yeah.
You know, my wife is a federally licensed employee. She cannot ingest anything like
Yeah.
this, unfortunately. But there are many that if they go to their employer in advance and say, my doctor has prescribed this to me, I just want to let you know
Yeah.
that this is something that's been
That I have to
prescribed
do,
that I
yes.
have to do.
Yeah.
Then they can often get a waiver from their employer.
Got it. Okay, so why do you think Texas was not successful in getting the ballot approved?
Great question. So there have been some lobbying firms out there, in particular a lobbying group that went against the legalization of marijuana in Texas.
Yeah.
And frankly, if you dig deeper, you find that the lobbying group against it were funded, ironically, by the same company that manufactures fentanyl.
Got it.
And fentanyl, as you may pick up in the news, is a leading cause for most opiate overdose related deaths in this country. And it's really sort of sad because you would hope that physicians and big pharma, regardless of what side of the table they're on, would want to open up the research on medical marijuana to say, look, there's another option out there. There isn't just these pain
Yes.
pills that people are getting addicted to.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then, so obtain a license from the city in which you want to operate. What are the steps?
So with Laura promulgating the new rules at the state level, the cities that you'll want to acquire a building and have zoned will need to decide whether they want to opt in. I know Highland Park hasn't opted in. There's a whole host of other cities that have not. There's about a half a dozen that have. So you've got to kind of do your research. What's challenging right now for entrepreneurs and investors that want to be in this space is they're not quite sure which municipality is going to opt in, yet they have to have their building.
Yeah.
And they have to have their architectural plans and their operating agreements and their procedures and business plans and
It's
financials.
almost like you're putting money up and just don't know you're doing a risk.
Right.
A real
so
big risk.
so
yeah.
if that city chooses not to opt in, now you're sitting on a commercial
lost out.
asset
Yeah.
and you can't yield the kind of return on that you would if it was going to be
It seems
medical
like you
marijuana.
have to, and just out of a guess, how much money do you think one would have to start an operation like this?
Well, it's different depending on if somebody's going to just pursue licensing for grow and cultivation.
Yes.
Obviously, it's different on, are they going to go for a Class A, B, or C license? C is obviously the largest license. And then that's different than if they are just going to be a processor. They're going to buy product from other growers and process into other formulations, oils, creams, topicals, things of that sort. Or if they're just going to be in the retail side.
Let's go with one. Option one.
So option one, your investment in that is going to be the facility operations for, let's just use Class C licenses as an
Okay.
example. You're going to be somewhere around 40 to 50,000 square feet of facility, warehouse facility.
Wow.
You've then got to have top-notch security systems, waste management systems. You've got to have architectural plans for the inside and
Yes.
design. So you're going to invest somewhere around $3 to $4 million to build out a
Wow.
good facility and own the building, and
Wow.
sometimes more than that, depending on obviously where that building is located.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Now, for some folks that I've advised, you could invest anywhere from $9 to $10 million on a full vertically integrated operation. That is grow and cultivation, processing, and retail dispensary.
Got it. Okay. So if you to start or continue a successful cannabis-related business now, what would you have to do?
I'm sorry.
Is that the question? Start or continue a successful and compliant cannabis-related business now. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the best thing to do is you've got to be able to demonstrate you have the skill sets, you have the team, you are complying with everything to the letter of the law
Yes.
legally, and that you've got your standard operating procedures well defined. You've got to be able to track from seed to sale the
Got it.
entire process.
All right.
And that's for tax purposes, obviously, for the state.
Yeah.
But it's also to make sure that that product doesn't end up going out the back door.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Do you think that there's going to be a case where I know we talked about security, but these facilities will get robbed and broken into, and do you think that that's going to be a problem? I can foresee that being a problem.
It could be for those that are trying to break into a grow and cultivation
Yeah,
facility
yeah.
and they're trying to steal product,
Yeah.
but not per se cash, because you're not selling at that
Yeah.
point, which is why your grow and cultivation and processing can be in one location but cannot be in the same location as your retail dispensaries.
Gotcha.
So what's going to happen is on the retail dispensary side, where you're at greatest risk for somebody, which is quite in vogue today, if somebody's going to break in, they'll drive a car through your wall. You've got to have your retail dispensary engineered such that it's got double reinforcement for that. You've got vibration detectors so that you know if somebody's
Yes.
trying to break that wall
Yeah.
and it sets off alarms.
Yes.
So there's a whole host of issues that you've
Seems
got to
like
resolve.
a lot of work.
It is, and it's.
But
it's-
is the risk worth the reward? Do you think it's worth it?
Well, the profit in this industry and the margins in this industry have been somewhere around 50 to 70% on a well-run operation, which
That's
as
huge.
the industry matures, like
Yeah.
any other industry, you'll see those margins compress.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see more products. You'll see the price per pound for
Mm-hmm.
product go down. But then the myriad of other products that are processed for a higher yield and higher return, you will see increase.
Got it.
So that kind of offsets it.
All right, so we keep hearing about all of the pot shops closing in Detroit and other communities. What should medical marijuana card holders know about this and how to make a legal purchase?
Great question. So, yes, we turn on the news and we see, or we open the newspaper and we see a headline, 167 or 168 pot shops
Yeah.
closed down. It's because they're preparing for the new licensing, and they want to make sure that everybody goes through the same application process and is thoroughly vetted. Many of these folks won't make the cut.
Yeah.
For background checks, for the fact that they have to prove source of funds. It doesn't matter if you're investing directly yourself or from a third-party investor. You have to be able to prove that. And so for those patients looking for aid and support,
Yes.
they need to make sure that they're going to a properly licensed caregiver for
Perfect.
that today.
Perfect. Well, it's been great having you on, and we're
Well,
at
thank
the
you.
end of our show. I could talk to you about this all day long because we didn't even get through most of the questions,
That's
but we
right.
got through a great deal of them. I think that we just, in our conversation, we covered a lot of information. But if you are interested in what we're talking about, you can definitely reach out to the state of Michigan, is it Lara?
Correct.
And get download the application and the process and things like that. It seems to be very profitable. It seems to be a win-win in all angles as far as being very helpful. If you have someone that's very sick, they could definitely use this. And then if you're an entrepreneur and you want to get involved, then, it's a good opportunity for you to do that as well. So thank you so much,
Well,
David,
thank you, Marley.
for coming
Always
on.
great to see you.
Absolutely.
Thank
It's
you
always
very
a pleasure to see you as well. And you guys, my viewers, my residents, I love you so much. Mwah! And I'll see you next week.